This YouTuber set up a trail camera next to some rocks, and in the crevice was a snake. The snake's presence is eventually revealed to the bobcat, which begins to attack it. Perhaps the bobcat perceives the snake as a threat. It's an interesting aspect of wildlife to see two radically different type of animals combat each other, but in this case it looks like the bobcat's the only one doing the fighting. And in this clip, these bobcats are startled immediately by a snake that's hanging out atop some rocks. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments section below. This is one unique capture shared to Facebook very recently. It's of a deer, and right above it we see a firework bursting in the air. It's not an everyday thing to see a deer standing next to the backdrop of a beautiful glowing orange firework. And in this video shared by the same Facebook account, we see a raccoon and a deer, almost as if they're best buds, hanging out with each other, doing some very bizarre things. Perhaps you can explain the odd behavior between the raccoon and the deer. It's a wholesome moment of nature captured in time forever through video. And it's honestly hilarious to see animals react to each other in this way. This next segment, we're going to be looking at some strange faces that have been caught on trail camera, starting with this picture showing not a face but some kind of dark blurry figure, which is clearly hairy. Its face is obscured and we can't quite make out any major details, but the Facebook account that posted this image also posted another that was taken later that night, and this is the one that started all the controversy and caused it to go viral. And rather ominously, we get an up-close view of an eye and a forehead. The eye doesn't look like it belongs to that of a human or a deer, but all the discussion was settled after this next image was also shared, showing what appears to be a rather well-defined snout. Maybe it is just a bison, but even if that set of captures were solved, this next image is mind-boggling. At first glance, we see the face of a humanoid creature, hairy and with a broadly shaped nose, almost flat on the top, unlike that of a human's. But most interestingly, the eye doesn't even have a visible pupil. All we can see is all black coloring. I've been on the internet for a while now, and I can tell you that this image right here is by far the most bizarre that you'll ever lay eyes on. Nobody has been able to accurately identify this, but I'm leaning towards a canine. Even so, it doesn't appear to be your average canine, so perhaps it's something far more sinister. What do you think? In this video, shared by Matt Busbis on Facebook, we see a family of white deer walking near to a body of water, including this one standing in the road ahead of the person recording. Oftentimes, these white albino deer suffer very unfortunate circumstances as they stand out to the rest of their surroundings, especially to nearby predators. Seeing a group of albino deer is not something you run into every day. Check out these two baby fawns laying out in the middle of a gravel road. They think that they're concealing themselves from the human, which they perceive as a predator, but actually they stand out like a sore thumb. Even so, it's a hilariously and very cute encounter. So if you saw these two baby fawns laying out in the road, what would you do? And how do you think they got into this situation in the first place? Check out this man who can randomly come up to any deer out in the woods, and it starts doing something very strange, nibbling on his fingers. I'm not exactly sure why the deer is doing this, but it makes for a hilarious video. And to conclude this segment, we look at this very up-close encounter with another albino deer. It's somewhat rare in itself to see a deer get this up close and comfortable to a human, but an albino one, that just takes things up a notch. And here's an unsettling video clip revealing a Sasquatch-like creature staring up at a camera that was positioned 12 feet high on a tree stand in Southern California. But some viewers have pointed out that it's actually a clip from a documentary about an ape that walks bipedally in a zoo. What do you think? In my opinion, the face does appear to be rather consistent with an ape. And in this capture, a man was driving down a rural road when all of a sudden this huge white creature that he could not identify ran across it. That's when he videoed it. Watch closely and let me know what you think. It doesn't look like any wildlife that I'm accustomed to seeing. Could this be a first-hand account of an unknown cryptid? And here we have an alleged trail camera picture of what appears to be some kind of bear-wolf hybrid. As weird as it sounds, the face looks like that of a bear, but the creature has some kind of wolf characteristic as well. But if I'm being honest, I think this is just one example of fakery in the form of AI-generated art. The face, and honestly the picture overall, just doesn't look real to me. But this picture is different, appearing much more real than any that we've shown so far. A hidden camera, positioned inside of a tree for weeks, maybe even months, captured this unknown and truly disturbing encounter. A hairy creature on all fours. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments.